last type of variation is combined variation. Ano po ba yung combined variation? So it is another type of relationship among variables. This is the kind of variation that involves both the direct and inverse variation. So ito ay pinaghalo na direct at saka inverse variation. So the statement z varies directly as x and inversely as y. So pag tin-translate natin siya into an equation, yung unang variable na binanggit on the left side of the equation, yung varies directly ay kasama ni k sa numerator at yung inversely ay nasa ibaba naman ni k. So pag ginawa natin siyang equation, yung z varies directly as x and inversely as y. So that will be z is equal to kx over y. Paano naman natin hahanapin yung equation for k? Para mahanap yung equation for k, kung ano yung kasama ni k, ilalagay lang natin sa denominator. At yung dalawang natitirang variable sa left side at sa denominator ay imumultiply lang natin. So, pagtatabihin natin siya sa numerator. So, yz or y multiplied by z all over x. So, ang equation natin for k is equal to yz over x. Where k is, again, the constant of variation. Okay? So how are we going to translate statements into an equation? So I have here two examples. So the first one, the pressure P of a gas varies directly as its temperature T and inversely as its volume. So kung makikita nyo, kulay red na yung mga variables na gagamitin natin sa equation. So how are we going to write an equation for number 1? So, yung P, yung nasa left side of the equation, yung varies directly. So, yung T ay kasama ni K sa numerator. And inversely ay nahando naman sa ibaba ng K. So, ang magiging equation natin ay P is equal to KT all over V. So, paano naman natin hahanapin yung equation for K? So, ang equation natin for K, kung ano yung kasama ni K, ilalagay natin sa denominator. At yung dalawang variables, yung isa sa left side, yung isa sa denominator, ay pagtatabihin naman natin sa numerator. So, ang equation natin is K is equal to PV over T. How about number 2? W varies jointly as C and the square of A and inversely as B. So, kung makikita ninyo, mayroon tayong joint sa number 2. So, meron tayong 2 variables na kasama ni K doon sa numerator. So, yung W natin, ilalagay natin sa left side. Yung C at yung square of A, ibig sabihin yan A squared, ay kasama ni K sa numerator. And inversely, yun naman yung ilalagay natin sa denominator. So, our equation is W is equal to K C A squared all over B. So, paano naman natin nahanapin yung equation for K? Para mahanap natin yung equation for K, kung ano yung kasama ni K sa numerator, which is C and A squared, ilalagay naman natin siya sa denominator. And then, the product of W and B, yung variables sa left side at saka sa denominator, ay imumultiply lang natin. So, pagtatabihin natin siya sa numerator. So, ang equation natin for K, K is equal to WB all over CA squared. Okay? So, the next one is solving for K and writing an equation of the variation. So, paano ba tayo mag-solve ng K kapag combined variation? So, I have here, P varies directly as Q and the square of R and inversely as S. So, ang una nating gagawin for letter A is to solve for K if P is equal to 40 when Q is equal to 5, R is equal to 4, and S is equal to 6. So, hahanapin natin si K. Paano natin hahanapin si K? The first thing we need to do is to translate the statement into an equation. Alin yung statement na itatranslate natin? Yung kulay black. Yung P varies directly as Q and the square of R and inversely as S. So, yung unang variable, ilalagay natin sa left side. So, magiging P equals directly as Q and the square of R. So, that will be QR squared kasi may nakalagay square of R. And then, inversely, ilalagay naman natin sa denominator. So, over, all over S. So, our equation is P is equal to KQR squared all over S. So, after that, hahanapin naman natin yung equation for K. So, write the equation for k. So, paano natin gagawin yung equation for k? Ano yung dalawang variables na kasama ni k sa numerator? QR squared. Ilalagay lang natin siya sa denominator, and then we will get the product of the variable on the left side and on the denominator. So, p times s, so that is ps. So, ang equation natin for k is equal to ps all over QR squared. So, that is our k, or the equation for k. So, ngayon, susolve naman natin yung k. So, paano natin isosolve? Gagamitin natin tong equation for k natin to be able to solve for k. So, yung p ay 40, yung q ay 5, yung r ay 4, at yung s ay 6. So, eto yon. So, ang equation natin again for k is equal to ps all over qr squared. So, we are going to solve for k by substituting the values of p, s, q, and r in the equation for k. So, palitan lang natin yung p ng 40, yung s ng 6, yung q ng 5, and then yung r ng 4. Kaso, si 4 naka-raise sa second power. So, simplify lang natin yung numerator. So, 40 times 6, and then that will be 240. So, naulit lang pala yung pagsulat. So, this one will be 5 times 4 squared. So, that will be 5 times 16. So, 5 times 16 is equal to 80. So, 240 all over 80. So, pwede natin siyang i-divide. Ang sagot ay 3. So, therefore, ang k natin is 3. So, k is equal to 3. Yan na yung sagot natin sa letter A. So, sa letter B naman, how are we going to write the equation of the variation? So, out of the original equation na ginawa natin kanina, yung P is equal to KQR squared all over S, papalitan lang natin yung value ng K doon sa ating equation. So, ang K natin is equal to 3. So, yung K dito, mapapalitan lang ng 3. So, magiging equation natin, or the equation of the variation is P is equal to 3 QR squared all over S. Okay? So, now, let us proceed with solving problems involving combined variation. So, problems naman ito. So, meron nawawalang variable na pangalawa. At yung isa ay real-life situation. So, let's have the first example. If C varies directly as X and inversely as Y, and Z is equal to 9 when X is equal to 6 and Y is equal to 2, find Z when X is equal to 8 and Y is equal to 12. So, para mas malinaw na makita yung mga given, sinulat ko siya into table of values. Ito siya. So, ang X natin daw ay 6, ang Y natin ay 2, ang Z natin ay 9. Hanapin daw natin si Z kapag naging 8 yung X natin at naging 12 yung ating Y. So, ayan, makikita sa table of values para mas madali yung matandaan kung ano ba yung given sa una at ano yung gagamitin natin sa pangalawa para mahanap yung nawawala. So, step number 1 natin again is express the statement Z varies directly as X and inversely as Y. So, pag ginawa nating equation yon, that is Z is equal to KX over Y. Okay po? So, step number 2 is solve for k by substituting in the equation. So, ano ba yung equation for k natin? Ano ba yung kasama ni k dito? X. Si x ilalagay natin sa denominator. And then, we will get the product of z and y. So, that is yz. So, our equation for k is equal to yz over x. Ngayon, para mahanap natin si k, gagamitin natin tong equation for k by substituting the values of x, y, and z. Ang una natin gagamitin itong tatlo, yung 6, 2, and 9. So, isa-substitute lang natin properly. So, ang y natin is 2, ang z natin is 9, at ang x natin ay 6. So, simplify lang natin yung numerator. So, 2 times 9, ang sagot ay 18. And then, copy 6, 18 divided by 6. So, that is equivalent to 3. So, ang k natin dito ay 3. Okay po? So, magagamit kasi natin yan para mahanap yung nawawalang z doon sa pangalawa kapag nabago na yung value ni x at saka ni y. So, let us proceed. So, ayan, kinopya ko lang ulit yung table. So, form the equation of the variation by substituting 3 in the statement. z is equal to kx over y. So, para mahanap natin yung equation ng variation, yung nasolve natin kanina na k, ay ipapalit lang natin dun sa ating original equation, which is z is equal to kx over y. So, pag pinalit natin siya, magiging equation natin is z is equal to 3x over y. So, ngayon, itong equation of the variation, pwede natin siyang gamitin to be able to find what is missing in our problem. So, ang nawawala ay z. Si x daw ay 8 at si y ay 12. So, papalit lang natin si x and y for step number 4. So, to be able to solve for z by substituting the given values for x and y. So, papalitan lang natin yung x and y dito sa equation natin na to. So, yung z is equal to 3x over y. So, magiging siyang z is equal to 3 multiplied by, ano ba yung x natin? 3 multiplied by 8. So, that is equivalent to 24. And then, our y is 12. So, 24 over 12. So, when simplified, ayan, 3 times 8 all over 12. So, that is 24 over 12. When simplified, 24 divided by 12, z is equal to 2. So, therefore, z is equal to 2 kapag ang x natin ay 8 at ang y natin ay 12. So, z is equal to 2. So, the second example can be found in your module 2. So, example, the current I varies directly as the electromotive force E and inversely as the resistance R. If a current of 30 amperes flows through a system with 16 ohms resistance and an electromotive force of 120 volts, we are going to find the current that a 200 volt electromotive force will send through the system. So, paano natin isa-solve tong real life situation problem na to? So, gagamitin natin yung combined variation. So, kung makikita ninyo, sinulat ko ulit yung given doon sa problem into table of values so that alam ko po kung ano yung gagamitin kong values to be able to solve for k at kung paano mo hahanap yung nawawala doon sa ating problem. So, the first solution or the first thing we need to do is to translate the statement na nabanggit kanina into an equation which is I is equal to KE over R. Bakit I is equal to KE over R? Kasi balikan natin. The current I varies directly as the electromotive force E and inversely as the resistance R. So, ang equation natin, I is equal to KE over R. So, ngayon, hahanapin naman natin yung equation for K. Ano magiging equation for K natin? Ano ba kasama ni K dito? Ang kasama ni K ay E, so ilalagay natin sa denominator. And then we will get the product of I and R. So, K is equal to IR over E. So, ngayon, isa-substitute lang natin yung IRE para mahanap natin yung value ni K. So, ito yung IRE na gagamitin natin. Yung unang I, yung unang E, at saka yung unang R. So, ayun. So, ang I natin ay 30, ang R natin ay 16, at ang I natin ay 100, ang E natin ay 120. So, ngayon, sisimplify lang natin yung numerator, 30 times 16, so the answer is 480. Tapos, kopyahin lang natin yung baba over 120. So, 480 divided by 120, the answer is 4. So, ibig sabihin, ang K natin dito ay 4. Yung constant ng ating variation ay 4. So, ngayon, after that, yung value ni K na yon ipapalit natin dun sa original equation natin kanina, yung I is equal to KE over R, para mahanap natin yung equation ng variation. So, nung pinalit, ang magiging equation natin ay I is equal to 4E all over R. Okay po? So, ngayon, hahanapin na natin yung I. Nawawala kasi si I, di ba? So, hanapin natin si I given that E is 200 and R is equal to 16. So, yun yung ipapalit natin dito sa equation natin para mahanap natin si I. So, I is equal to 4, yung E palitan mo ng 200. Yung R palitan mo ng 16. So, I is equal to 4 times 200 all over 16. Okay po? Simplify yung taas. So, 4 times 200, ang sagot ay 800. And then, copy 16 in the denominator. And after that, 800 divided by 16, our answer will be 50. So, pag dinivide natin si 800 by 16, we will get 50. So, that answers the problem. So, ano ngayon yung magiging sagot natin? Therefore, the current is 50 amperes. So, dahil current yung hinahanap, current yung magiging final answer natin. The current is, gagamitin natin yung amperes para sa unit for current. So, that is the final answer. Okay? So, that will be all for Module 2. So, tapos na po tayo sa joint combined variation. Thank you very much at sana ay natutunan nyo ang aking mga tinuro sa Module 2.